And welcome. It's time for a little bit of intellectual anarchy with James Salazar. That's me, where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas. Hello, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. And we're going to talk about being thankful. As you know, this is a political, philosophical segment of my YouTube channel. And we must pull this into the political realm to understand right now, people are taught that they are justified to be unthankful, to be ungrateful. We're going to use the word gratefulness and thankfulness interchangeably here because they're practically the same thing. The ability to be thankful, the ability to be grateful. First of all, let's just push past that gratefulness is a life hack. It is to be thankful is literally a life hack, because you can't be negative, self-absorbed, or see yourself as a victim if you're thankful. You can't. They can't live in the mind at the same time. And it is one of the very first pillars one of the major pillars of emotional intelligence. Now, we have certain groups of people who are taught by political parties not to be thankful, not to be grateful, to be negative, and see themselves as a victim. And this automatically knocks them out of emotional intelligence. And this is why you see some of these people screaming at people, emotionally volatile. And this can cross all party lines, for sure. And all religious lines, and even family lines. We all know some idiot who's unthankful and ungrateful. Let me tell you something. If you were born in the United States, or you found yourself in the United States, you have won the cosmic lottery. You have. There's 1 million people trying to get in here every year because they know how much better the United States. They're not perfect. Definitely we have our flaws. And some old things are sticking around longer than they should, and some new things should never be implemented. But this is a free society, and we're trying to figure it out. And unfortunately, social engineering likes to try things off the backs of poor people and minorities, and the elitists to look with their notebooks and say, interesting, I guess that didn't work out. But I digress. We have a lot of flaws in this country, but I'm clearly understand that I won the cosmic lottery born in this country. But at the end of the day, gratefulness and thankfulness is a choice. See, there's people who are born in the most impressive society, and they still are thankful for their life. And over here, we have these first world problems, and they so devastate us, and they think gives us the right to feel sorry for ourselves and to blame other people and act like we're in the worst circumstance, and we treat other people crappy because if they had our lives, they would treat people crappy too. I'm going to make a statement that is 100% true, and you can look it up through history. The world is made worse by ungrateful, unthankful, and unhappy people. It is. If you look at some of the most terrible things that society has done, it was always on the back of an ideology that told you to be unthankful, told you to be ungrateful, and told you had a right to be unhappy and that you're a victim. Because if you can convince people that they shouldn't be unthankful, they shouldn't be thankful, and that they're a victim, then they're going to wish to punish the person who made them a victim, unknowing to them that it is a choice that they make. See, people can wrong you, they can hurt you, but only you can make yourself a victim. People need your permission to make you a victim. Being a victim is a choice. Having someone hurt you, that's probably not a choice. But how you see yourself is your choice. Whether you see yourself as a victim or you see yourself as a victor, whatever it might be, but the fact of the matter is that thankfulness and gratefulness is a choice. If you can't be grateful for the little, you're not going to be grateful for the big. There's nothing in life that's going to happen, no event that's going to make you grateful, because gratefulness is a choice. Thankfulness is a choice. The person who is ungrateful and bitter and resentful, and the person who is grateful, thankful, and happy and optimistic, they're basically both right. The only difference is that the unthankful and the ungrateful make the world worse. Right? I saw this thing on the internet where this girl decided to shit on her father's funeral by saying because he didn't realize his misogyny in a way that liberals would want you to see it, that she thought she was a victim and she was ungrateful for the things, the house that her father put over her head and the food that was put on her table and the school that he paid for. She decided to shit on his funeral because she learned at school that ungratefulness and unthankfulness was a virtue. It's so sad because she's going to, later on in life, if she has any amount of intelligence, she's going to see how wrong she was. And she could never take that back. And those people led her down the wrong way. And she will probably be someone who is miserable and make other people miserable around her. See, society is not built on unthankful people, ungrateful people. They don't create societies, they just ruin societies. And history shows that. So you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice whether you're going to be someone who is thankful, grateful, happy, positive, or you're going to be someone who is bitter, resentful, and sees themselves as a victim and be unthankful and ungrateful. It's a choice. So I'm going to leave you with this commercial right now. Hey everyone, it's James Salazar with James Salazar Media. If I can just have a moment of your time to talk about some things that I'm doing and some free things I have for you. Let me talk about my Intellectual Anarchy show, where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas, where we talk about philosophy, religion, and politics, because I think they're inseparable from having a successful life. We also have the Brightburn YouTube Academy, where we talk about the belief systems and principles in being an entrepreneur. We also have the James Salazar Media podcast, where we talk about pop culture and politics and futurism. Some free things I have for you. We have the Brightburn Society Facebook group, where you come together with people with like-minded goals, where we maximize your illumination by maximizing your human potential. That's free. You just got to join. I also have a free ebook for you called How to Be Great at Everything You Do Blueprint. Just download that. That is free to you. Also, you can check out my coaching services and my speaking services at jamessalazarmedia.com. Everything will be in the show notes of this video. Also, I have a QR code right here. You can take a picture of that and it will link you to everything I have. So that's all I have to say. This is James signing out. Have a good one. So, let's wrap this up. We have to. Gratefulness and thankfulness is a choice. Our forefathers knew there needed to be a day set aside where you realize what you need to be grateful for things. Because you can't build society on unthankful and ungrateful people. You can't get them to play a part of the social contract. And if they see themselves that way, they will tear everything around them down. See, you got to take stock in the things that you have in your life. There's people, let me tell you something. There's people who've had it worse and done more, who see life optimistically. That's a fact. There are people who have horrendous stories. Whole family murdered. Mother and sisters raped and murdered in front of their eyes. Physically shot, stabbed. Had to run from their lives. They make it out. Make it to America. And they look around and they see they're in paradise. There are people who are waiting in line to be killed by the Germans in World War II. But they chose to be thankful. See, they could take their life, they could take their money, probably could take their children, but they couldn't take their gratefulness. They knew in the midst of what seems like no choices, they had a choice to be grateful, and they chose to be grateful because they believed. It's an integral part of their religion that grateful people, thankful people make the world better. And unthankful and ungrateful people make the world worse. And they saw an example of that in front of their face because the ungrateful people were the ones that were killing them. They were taught that all the bad things that happened in their life were caused by these people, these race of people. And instead of being thankful, they were taught to be resentful. It is the quickest way to have people turn on each other. It's to link people with their resentment and bitterness and to see themselves as the victim and see other group of people as the cause of that resentment, bitterness. And if they can link you up to your ungratefulness, oh, they can get you to do anything. So today I ask you, on the eve of Thanksgiving, when you go with your families and friends, make a choice to be thankful. Make a choice to be grateful for what you got. Take account. If you look at your life, it's probably one bad thing, ordinary days, and then another bad thing, a couple good things, ordinary days. And it's a strange thing in this first world society that where we think ordinary days are not good days. Well, they are good days. If you're not running from rape gangs, if you're not running from warlords, if you're not starving economically or running from bombs, nothing happening, that's a great day for the rest of the world. But we have just few bad things that happen to us, and yet we focus on those bad things when our life is probably more of ordinary days and good days. But we focus on the negative days, and we let those negative days define us. It's just like if you do a performance and 100 people are lined up to tell you how great you are, but one person tells you that you were shit, you were terrible. It doesn't matter what the 99 said, how profound you were, how artistic, how wonderful you were. You will focus for years on the one person who said you were crap and give their word more weight than all the people who said you were wonderful. It is the same thing. You have to choose to focus on what people said good about you instead of focused on the negative. And you can choose to focus on the good things, the ordinary things that happen to you every single day. Just getting through life instead of focusing on those bad things, because everybody has bad things in their life that has happened. It's unavoidable. It's what happens with life. So what are you going to do? Are you going to choose to be resentful, bitter, unthankful, ungrateful, entitled, and see yourself as a victim? Or are you going to see yourself as someone who is thankful, who is grateful, happy, optimistic, and wants to help the world? It's your choice. It's a choice you make today, because there's nothing that's going to happen that's going to change your outlook, that's going to make you more thankful, other than you choosing to be. So be grateful this Thanksgiving. Make the world better. You can still be a part of your political party, but you can still be grateful. You can still be grateful for the things you have. Take account of the things you have in your life and be grateful for them. So this is James Salazar signing out of Intellectual Anarchy, where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas. Happy Thanksgiving.